Young Gerald. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212's in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah, lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby, pass. Don't spill on me. That's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. Like Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lockjaw got me speaking slow like, I'm blessed. I don't GA, I'm tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers come into today's matchup wanting to find a way to walk out of the stadium with win number 5 on the season. It's the Cardinals going up against the Packers. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
First opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. You get a look at the Pro Bowl quarterback in his 13th season now out of Cal, Aaron Rodgers.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback... some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where
and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. C.J. Anderson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last two games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
This is the running back, Blue. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And now a first down following that long gain. And a wildcat formation here. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They run again with Logan. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Fresh set of downs here. Now Johnson. They find some open field here. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. Oh, the spin. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers now to throw. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Rodgers to throw once more. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Gabriel, the man in motion. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Avery Williamson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Newton. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop.
Now that's just simply good coaching and excellent technique on that play. You know why? Because everyone wants to rush the passer when they want to throw the football, but you're not always going to get there. So what are you taught to do? When the ball's finally thrown, get your hands up in the passing lane.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Golden coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marcus Golden with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now a play fake here on first down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. On second down, Johnson got some real estate inside the 30. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Out to kick is Janikowski. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up? And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Marcus Golden in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Marcus Golden in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Rodgers. And this one complete to Martellus Bennett. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On first down, Rodgers. And he's got some space here. Room to run inside the 40. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Rodgers now on first down. A dump off to Anderson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
20. 20. 36.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. A final shot before the break. Newton steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a visiting and we've seemingly lost communication with Larry. Good news, though, both teams somehow already back on the field and ready for the third quarter. This is T.J. Logan to return it. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now some love it, some hate it. Here it is. It's the Wildcat look. They go to Johnson again. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the carry, this is Blue. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's fourth.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Golden. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marcus Golden in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at about the 14. Dances by him.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it with Johnson. And an alley to run. And he's brought down after a good gain. 31 yards there and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, it certainly appears that the big guys up front have taken charge of the line of scrimmage. 2 really nice plays back-to-back. But on the defensive side of the ball, there shouldn't be any despair. Okay, they've got us a couple of times here. Hang in there, keep your composure, and try and figure it out for the next play.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down following the run. They'll try the air now with Newton. Underneath for Johnson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They run with Blue. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. And the quarterback is actually split out wide there in the Wildcat. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Here's Blue. Gets past him at the 10. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Alfred Blue, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Out of the gun, Newton. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion, and sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So they're operating in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Alfred Blue with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. He spins free. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
319!
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Marcus Golden in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal. So the chain gang now done for the drive ball. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Rodgers now on 1st down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Throwing here, Newton. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find the crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Give them 8 on the gain there, and it'll give the Cardinals a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all...
If you've been with me from Port of Miami.